then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. So don't worry too much. Somebody's interested in everything. And anything you can be interested in, you'll find others will. It is absolutely stupid to spend your time doing things you don't like.
Alright guys, it's been a while. We're going to be doing an update video. There's just a lot of stuff I want to cover, and it's a lot easier for me to just tell it to you all in one video. So if you only care about the working on car stuff, and you're one of those people who comments that you hate these videos, I talk too much, whatever, this is not the video for you. Your time is better spent elsewhere on YouTube, not watching me talk if you don't want to watch me talk. So for those of you who do care and want to know what's going on, why I sold the truck, the Vette raffle, the Miata, all of that, we're going to cover all of that in this video, explain everything. So first off, let's get with the Miata because there's been a lot of questions about it and I've talked about it, but we'll go into more detail here. So it is coming back from Cage next weekend. So, you know, like a week and a half, not even. So that's very exciting. Chris, the one who did the Cage, is bringing it up to me. He said it'll definitely be done by then. He's coming up for FD Atlanta anyway, or FD Orlando anyway. So he's just gonna bring it up with him, which works perfect since I don't have a truck right now. We do have a few things to do before it gets back that I wanna get done. I've got the headers cleaned up. I'll show you. Like I cut all the nubs off and took the bracket off for the heat shield and stuff. So we're gonna take these and get them ceramic coated. I need to do that like tomorrow. I really need to drop them off so that they're done by the time the car's back and the engine's ready to go back in. I also wanna go ahead and do the whole fuel system. So I'm not going to bolt the intake manifold on finally. I really wanted to because that's kind of like that complete step. But it's a lot easier to get the motor under the front of the car without it. But we are going to do like the injectors, the fuel rails, get kind of like the fuel lines mocked up and all that stuff and have that done. So that's another part of, you know, the things we need to do before we get the Miata back. Once we get the Miata back, it's kind of just going to be like a progress train, I hope. I mean, we have everything I can think of. I'm sure we'll run into parts that we need, but for the most part, like everything is covered and accounted for. There's no more waiting on anything, which as far as the Cage go, I know it's been a little while, but one, Cages take a long time. Two, like I said before, it was a homie hookup. He was doing me a solid on this. So like, I'm not gonna rush him. He's got other business that's like takes priority. So I'm really stoked that he was willing to hook me up on it because most people hate doing Cages because they're not fun. So huge shout out to Chris at Jackson Performance. Again, there'll be a video on that as well. I have the first half of that one filmed as well. Second half will come once the car's done. So after it gets back, paint the engine bay, paint the Cage, throw the motor back in. Once the motor's back in, we can do the rear subframe stuff, which we've already got the diff mounts done. We just need to make the axles and swap everything over for the other subframe. Put all the front angle kit on, the front suspension on, you know, all of that stuff, put that on. Put the new coilovers on, trans mount, drive shaft wiring, radiator plumbing, throw the interior back in. Like it's all stuff from there that I have, you know, for the most part. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be fun to get back onto it and have progress because like right now, there's not really anything I have a project to work on. Like I don't really have anything to do to the Z. It's good. It's fixed. I mean, like it's weird. I don't like this feeling of coming home like, what am I going to do today? So I am excited to have it back. I know you guys are excited to see the progress. So it will be back. It will be back. Okay, moving on. Next thing. So the truck. I loved the truck. I really did. You guys know that I was super into that truck. I thought it was so cool. It's a really awesome truck because it's very simple. There's not a lot that can break on the engine. As long as it's got fuel, it's going to run pretty much. So that was one of those things where I really didn't want to get rid of it. And there's very few vehicles in life that I haven't wanted to get rid of. And I saw a comment saying, I don't understand how people get rid of vehicles so quickly or so much. Like, you guys don't even know. Like, the old Taylor would not have a vehicle more than a few months. Like, oh, I'm trading it, I'm selling it. So I've been doing pretty good. I've had the Miata for over 2 years. I've had the Vette for over a year. I had the truck for almost a year. So I've been doing all right. Give me a break. Give me a break. So I did get rid of the truck, and it does pain me. It really does. But there are reasons why. It's single cab, and I thought that I could deal with a single cab having the toolbox, and I wanted to get an enclosed trailer and all that, but man, it was tight in there. When we went down to PBIR, it was the first time I had someone ever ride with me on a trip, my friend Josue, and it was me, him, and both our backpacks, and it was pretty cramped in there. That on top of the fact that it doesn't cruise very well at anything over like 65 when towing, which is ideal for gas mileage, but you know, if I'm going to be going from here to California, I might want to go more than 65, you know, and past that speed, it just got kind of sketchy. It's an older truck. The brakes weren't very good. I needed to go through the brakes. There's just a lot of things I had to do to maintain that truck. And my plan is also to get rid of the Vette, which we'll get to in a minute. So having that vehicle as a daily, and I like didn't really want to have that older truck as my daily. Like, call me silly, but like driving something a little newer like the Vette, you know, I want something that's a little newer, comfortable, no wind noise, like get in, start it up, like don't worry about it, and just cruise. It sounds silly, something that rides nice, because the truck does not, it drove very well, but it did not ride very well. Super bouncy, super, So that was kind of the idea, and what started the plan to sell it, and why I sold it is because I want to get rid of that. I want to get rid of the Vette, and I want to get something newer that I can tow with and that I can daily drive. So I'm down one more vehicle, so I don't have 4 vehicles, because we are moving out of this house. Fed is moving down to Bradenton. Trey is moving back home. I'm not going to stay here by myself. That would be way too expensive. So I'm going to be moving as well. Me and Matt are talking about getting a place, so we'll see how that goes. Either that or get a cheaper house and get a shop, or I don't know exactly what's in the cards yet. We still got a few months, but that's definitely happening. And I don't want to have 4 vehicles that I have to figure out a place to put if we can't find a place where I can keep them. So, and a trailer. So because of that, you know, and just other things, I want to downsize, and then that way it opens up more room for projects in the future, more fun projects, because we're kind of capped out on the Vette, which we'll get into the Vette in a second. So I was like, man, I've been saving money for a while. I've been very frugal. I've been eating at home. You know, I haven't really been spending any money I didn't need to spend other than like car stuff. So I was looking at it, I'm like, all right, man, with all this money saved up, and then, you know, I've got a paycheck coming, and then I sell the truck, like I should be able to buy the truck that I want now, which will allow me to raffle the Vette, you know, because that would obviously take time, instead of just selling the Vette, because I was just going to sell the Vette. Well, then taxes were a thing that I forgot about, and that took a big chunk out of, you know, the money I had set aside and had been saving for almost a year now, or over a year now. So that kind of put me in a different spot, but I'm still kind of looking at the same 2 type of trucks. So I have, on one hand, which is, this is what I like first came to my head as to why I wanted to do this and what I wanted to get, was EcoBoost F-150. You know, I was looking for like 2012 at least, just so it's not the first year. And I was really dead set on getting something with leather interior with like the air conditioned seats. I've never had a newer car than an 03 Infiniti G35, so the idea of like a 2012 with leather air conditioned seats is just like, wow, that'd be so amazing. And it is ideal for what I'm doing, because I tow an open car trailer, I drive back and forth to work, put some BC Forge wheels on it, have a cool looking truck that I can drive around, and is comfortable and small enough to drive every day, but I can tow with, because I think the tow rating on it's like 11,000 pounds. That's not counting like vehicle weight, or, you know, weight in the vehicle, like gas and things like that. So you're looking at like 9,000 pounds from what I've been reading, and that's on the upper end, which means I could tow an enclosed in the future, because I do eventually want to get an enclosed, be able to have a toolbox in there and all my tools and spare parts and stuff if I'm going to go to California or something, you know. So, you know, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on getting an enclosed, but I am 100% sure that I want to travel. After watching like Adam's Super D video and seeing him go travel and drive with all these cool people and friends of mine, even like Chelsea and whatever, I want to do that. You know, I want to be out there. I want to be able to travel to those events and go on a month-long drifting road trip like that. That's been the dream since I got my truck, and I realized it wasn't really feasible in my truck. Like, I'm just not the man to make a 3,000 mile journey in a single cab version going 60 miles an hour. I'm just not that kind of person. There's a better man than me out there who could do it. Not me. So the other option to the F-150 is Grafton just bought a Duramax. He bought, I think his is 01 or 02. And he came by, let me drive it, and I was like, man, I could do this. You know, it is a little bit bigger than I'd want of a vehicle for like a daily. Like, I don't understand the people who want massive monster trucks that they drive every day. Like, it's just such an inconvenience. But yeah, that's besides the point. I was like, man, I could daily this. It's super comfortable. All of the Duramax ones have leather interior. If I get like an 06, 07, then I get the 6-speed trans, which is like towards that newer vehicle thing I want. Problem with Dodge, 4-speed trans. You run out of gears pretty quick, screaming on the highway. 6-speed, you got more gears, better cruising speed on the highway, better miles per gallon. You get all that and the nice truck and you know, a good motor without having all the crazy DEF stuff that's really annoying and all of that. So it's kind of a really good year range to get. It also falls in the same category of my truck, which was, it's not really going to lose value. Like, I bought my truck, drove it for a year, and made some money on it. you know, because they're desirable, especially, you know, with the truck that I had, 4-wheel drive, first gen, 93. So, oh man, I'm really on the fence. I really need you guys' input. That's part of the main reason I'm making this update video. You guys always have good reasoning for stuff. You help, you know, ground me and let me get, you know, give me other ideas. And I'm also up for other trucks. Like, I'm not dead set on what I want. Those are just the two that I have figured out that I want. So again, the EcoBoost I think would be way better as a daily. Probably gets better gas mileage unloaded, a little bit smaller, newer, more comfortable. Will look sick with some cool wheels on it. Will totally tow what I have now, no problem. Could kind of tow what I want in the future, but if I get into something like a 26-foot trailer or 28-foot trailer, like, it's just not going to do it. I mean, it would be stretching it. When you're talking about going to California and going up mountains and going on a 3,000-mile trip, like, stretching it around town is different than stretching it 3,000 miles. So I really want something that's I will be comfortable hopping in and going across the country, because that's really what I want to do, guys. That really is that, and what we'll get to in a minute. So that's my thought. And Duramax will definitely tow like anything I want to tow comfortably, no problem. It's still a really nice truck inside. It's a comfortable daily. It's a little older, but it still has all the amenities. You know, some of the ones I'm looking at, like I said, they all have leather interior. They've got huge back seats. I could sleep in the back seat on a long trip if I needed to. I could bring a bunch of people with me comfortably. You know, it'll do everything I want to do. It's just a little big for a daily. You know, and it's a diesel, so it's a little more complicated. Usually, you know, there's weird problems that you can kind of find, but same thing could happen with the EcoBoost. That could go both ways. So if you have experience with either of these trucks, let me know your thoughts. If you have any ideas of what truck, let me know your thoughts. The budget, you know, I would like to spend under 15 and could spend up to 18 if I save up for a little while longer. So that's kind of where I'm at. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm really, really curious what you guys come up with. I'm sure you'll come up with something that'll blow my mind, and maybe that's what I'll end up with. So the Vette raffle, I didn't want to announce this just yet. I wanted to announce it when it was ready, but it's in the works. We're getting everything set up to do the Vette raffle. We got to come out with like a merch for it and get the raffle itself set up. But the Vette is getting raffled. I'm like 100% down for this because like I said, I was gonna sell it. I love the Vette. The Vette's been a big part of the channel. It's been a lot of fun for a long time, but at this point, you know, the Z kind of replaces the Vette. I know you guys think the Z replaced the Miata. The Miata is a whole other beast, but the Z is a simple, reliable drift machine street car. I don't know why I said drift machine.
Drifting machine,
but it's a very simple car that I just maintain and drive, and that's what the intention with the Vette was. Then I made it nice. I didn't want to crash it, and right now I just daily it. That's what, I mean, I drive the car every single day back and forth to work, and wherever I need to go, really. So I don't know. I think it's time to move on from the Vette. Oh, man, it's hard to explain this in like the right order. Basically, what I'm gonna want to do is put angle back on it because it doesn't have angle right now. Go through and just fix all the little stuff that's wrong with it. Just dumb stuff like needs a blower motor resistor, just simple stuff, and make it really nice. It'll come with a set of drift spares, the Koenigs, and then probably either choice of wheels, the Koenigs or the Works, or like if it does well enough, maybe both. I don't know. We'll see how well the raffle does if I can afford to do that. But I basically want it. I'll make a new handbrake handle. I want it to be a set-up drift car, ready to go for somebody who can also daily it, because that's what I would do with it. You know, so it's kind of cool. You get the best of both worlds. You know, whoever wins it can do whatever they want with it. But if they want to go to a drift event that day, they can go to a drift event that day. That's my goal. If they want to drive it back here from California, they can. So that's where I want it to be by the time the raffle ends. And the raffle, okay, yeah, that segues us into the next part. The raffle would be all money put aside for down payment on a house, which is why I was going to sell the Vette to begin with. If you guys remember, we talked about this. I've been planning on selling it for a while for that reason. So sell the Vette, or raffle the Vette, use that money, down payment on a house. And what that would allow me to do is really like live my dream, if you will. I mean, I'm already so happy with my life and what I get to do because of you guys, because of YouTube, because of my great friends, because of BC, my job. But this would allow me to buy a house with some property. You know, I want at least like an acre or two. If I move far away, I could probably get like 5-10 acres for pretty cheap with a house. Build a shop, and then we could do so much more. Like, there's so much more that I could do at that point in time. And what I would really want to do, I have probably 100 builds swimming around in my head at all times. Just like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we built this, if we built that, and be able to get an all-wheel drive Eagle Talon, throw a big eBay turbo on it, lift it on some mud tires, and take it rally racing around my property or something, you know, or take it to an actual rally thing and drift it. I don't know, just do whatever with it, have fun with it, and then raffle it off to you guys. If that, you know, or just sell it or whatever, or keep it, you know, depending on what it is. But just be able to do a bunch of fun budget projects that, like, maybe one of them is something that one of you out there goes, man, that would be a great first car. Like, let me do it, because they're not all going to be silly and wacky. They might be some cool low car that's just meant for cruising on the Sundays, you know, things like that. So that's really like where I want to go with the channel. Like, I want to do more builds, more budget builds, and I personally want to do them because they're fun. I really enjoy them. So that's my thought process with that. The house would allow me to do that. I can't have 10 cars here, or even 4 cars barely, you know. So in this current situation, I can't really do much, and I thought about getting a shop now, but then that cuts into the money that I'm putting aside, you know, for a house in a year or so. And I feel like it's smarter to just suck it up now. I won't be able to make as much content or do as many builds and stuff like that, but then in a year from now, I'll be in a much better position if I can buy a house in about a year, year and a half. The only reason I'm not trying to now harder and just like selling the Vette and taking that money and not buying a truck or whatever is because I need to build more credit before I can do that. We are getting there though, we're getting there, and it's definitely like something that could happen in the next year and a half. So that is why I'm raffling the Vette, and like I said, I was gonna sell it, I just can't. Like, one of you guys has to get this thing. I really love this car. I know I'm gonna miss this more than the truck even, and I'm already missing the truck, and I don't even get sentimentally attached to vehicles. I do miss pretty much everything I get rid of. Even if I hated it when I got rid of it, I'm like, oh, but I missed that car, that thing was so cool. I think it's like you just think about the good times, like, man, that truck was so cool though, like, so rad, starts right up, sounding good, like, cruising around on a Sunday. But then I don't think about like being stressed out doing it 65, worrying if it's gonna break down, and bouncing all my way along, not being able to convoy with friends because they want to go 75, 80 and I can't, you know. So anyway, I do want this to go to somebody though, and we'll iron out the details as time goes on as to what, you know, I'd like to do something cool. Like, I really like the way Adam did his. I don't know that I could afford to do all that, but you know, just a cool giveaway. So let me know what your thoughts are on that as well. Let me know who wants to win the Vette. Do you guys want to win the Vette? I don't know. Maybe you guys hate the Vette and you're like, Taylor, nobody's going to buy a ticket or a merch, whatever. I made notes this time, so I didn't forget. Well, it wouldn't be one of my videos without forgetting at least one thing. So real quick, I want to tell you guys that thing. It seems like every time I either forget to say something in a video, or it's something that I'm like, I should say this, I should tell them this, and then I'm like, nah, like, they'll understand, they'll know what I mean, they'll know I did that, whatever. Those are always the things where I get tons and tons of comments like, Taylor, you should have checked this, why didn't you check this, or why didn't you do this, or what about this, or what. I'm like, oh man, I really wish I would have just told them. So this is one of those situations where if I hadn't said it, you guys might have thought about it. Anyway, the Z would essentially replace the Vette for now as the street car, and by doing so, I want to clean it up. I'd like to try to get like a, you know, like a KVD kit for it, one of those super durable kits, change the door, clean it up, maybe wrap it or something. Like, it'll still be the send it car, and I'll still send it in it, and it can get as destroyed as it is now or worse. But try to make it look decent so that I can drive it on the street, maybe put AC back in it, so it's not miserable to drive in the Florida heat. You know, it wouldn't be my daily like the Vette is, like ideally whatever truck I get would be, but it would be something that I could drive on the street if I was in the mood to drive a stick shift car around to work, you know? So that's kind of the plan there. So anyway, back to whatever I was saying when I put this clip in. Japan, I almost forgot Japan. So I was gonna go to Japan this April, but it's kind of a long story, and it just didn't make sense. Like, my car wasn't ready yet because I guess they didn't know to work on it. So my car wasn't ready. Flights, by the time, you know, I had made my decision to go, were like $1,500 round trip. It was like $600 last time. So it's getting really, really expensive. We do have BC on board as a sponsor, so that like makes it all possible, but it just didn't make sense to go this trip. A friend of Adam's wanted to buy my car. I've been wanting to either upgrade or downgrade. Like, part of me wants a JZX 100, you know, to have a better car out there that's more evenly matched with everybody. Other part of me wants crumpled beer can that I can fully send it in. Let me know your thoughts on that. Which one should I get? The only problem with crumpled beer can is it going to be reliable? Like, I don't really care at all what the car looks like. I just want something that's going to be reliable over there, because it's a drift vacation. You don't want to be swapping a motor in Japan for half your trip. So I got to figure that out soon though, because I'm definitely going in November. Like I said, BC's on board to sponsor it. Like, I'm going. There's no reason for me not to go. I can't even complain about money being an issue because I have the money from that car, so it's all squared away. we're gonna do it, but I just don't know beer can or nice car. So anyway, again, that conflicts with buying a house, so I'll probably go beer can. All right, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Again, I'm curious on your thoughts, your ideas. Let me know what truck you think I should get. Like, that's my major dilemma right now, is like, what truck should I get? There's some other ideas in my head bouncing around right now with BC, potentially working more but moving up a little bit in the company, or you know, spending less time and doing more on YouTube. And man, there's a lot going on. I need your help to help me at least figure out the truck, the Matsuri car, beater or not beater, and what you think about the Vette raffle. I want to know your thoughts there. So yeah, well, thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate it. I'll have some real content coming to you guys very soon, so just thank you for being patient. And the Miata will be back very soon, very, very soon. Before you even realize it, the Miata is going to be here, and we're going to be wrenching. You guys will forget it was ever gone, and I will too, because I'll be so busy I'll never have time to do anything, but I'll be happy because I'll be wrenching on my car. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I will see you next time. Goodbye.